To my younger self.
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 To my younger self. To my younger self.
Well, hello and good morning. How are you doing? Today is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. Can you believe that? I remember back in the day when I used to say 1990 or 1992, right? I never dreamt we will be saying 2020 something. We're all the way up to 22 already. My good God, we are all so glad to be here. We're so glad to be alive. Where are you watching us from? Especially on the continent of Africa, I do want to hear from you. Please go into the chat section and just type good morning, type hello, type what's up, give me a virtual hug. If you have that in your local dialect, I will want to hear from you. Okay, and just tell me your name, where you're watching us from. This is what we do in Africa. We are communal and community people. We like to, get in each other's faces whilst we greet each other. Okay, my name is Zoe Baraka, and I am so excited to be here. Today will be a good day because of the person who is going to be telling us stories. I'm just pumped. But before we do that, before we introduce our next guest storyteller from the continent of Africa, can I greet you all a little bit? Baraka da Zua to you. If you are in any part of Africa really, and you speak Hausa, I just greeted you in Hausa. Sanunkuda Zuayaya de Yakakwana Kakwana Lafia. I hope you slept well. Kotong and Amohalang to you. If you speak Sesotho, I just greeted you. Ndinao to you. Wezo to you. Eleke, Efwa, are you good? I hope you woke up well. I know the world is going, I don't even know, like west or is it south? No one knows. We all are kind of like trying to figure our lives out. So I hope you're doing very, very well. Ya ken tuma fudua wela tuma awela. I hope you're doing well. I just greeted you in the Kusal language. If you're in the northern parts of Ghana and you speak Kusal, I hope you're doing well. Sao bonane to you. If you speak Zulu, Olotia to you. How are you doing? If you are in Uganda and you speak Luganda, I am greeting you. Bella to you. Ibio Kibari to you. If you speak Moshi, I don't know, in say Burkina Faso, I know there's a couple of Mori people in, I believe, Southern America, but I greet you. Ekaro to you, Ekabo. If you speak Yoruba, God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Nagadef to you if you speak Wolof, that is in Senegal. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always a joy to see my Senegalese friends. You know why? Because of Youssou N'Dour, right? I love that man. Jambo to you, Habari Gani. Karibu Sana to you if you speak Swahili. Kotolii to you if you are Fulani and you speak Fofoldi. I am greeting you. Bonjour to you. Buongiorno, bom dia to you. Buenos dias and welcome, of course. We are so grateful you are here. Let me tell you, I am rushing to introduce our next guest storyteller, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But before that, I see a couple of people here. Let me say good morning. Good morning. Oh, wow. Audrey, Prof. It is so good to see you. Doctor, our very own soul doctor. Thank you for joining us. Beverly Ross, I see you, my dear, one of our biggest, topmost fans. You have been so faithful to us. We are grateful. I greet James if he is somewhere over there in the background. James, thank you for joining us. To the missus is here. I greet you, Madam Juliet. Thank you so much for joining us. Batatia Feli, thank you for joining us. Our producer, Big Sis Elsie. Oh my good God, we are grateful that you are here. I see you all. I see you all. I see you all. Let me go ahead and introduce our guest storyteller. Let me tell you, there's some people when you meet them, you just get more life from out of them. And I love meeting people. Stan T is one of the people that, even though I have not, known him for years and years and years, and I just got to talk to him briefly over, here and there. There is so much substance to him, which makes me so glad, because especially on the African continent, sometimes we think there are no good men out there, and there are. There really, really are. And that is who Stan T is. Let me introduce him to you just a little bit. So Stan T is the interim business manager at the Financial Services UK. His present assignment is with HSBC. Wow. He's also the owner of El Tie, an online fashion brand. And you know how I like to, kind of do it up. I like fashion. So I like meeting people who are just into fashion. He's also the co-owner of Maya's Cafe in Lagos, Nigeria. I've always wanted to go to Lagos, Nigeria. So maybe this is my in. I don't know. We're going to have to ask him. He has worked in corporate UK for 20 plus years. And now he's decided to take the plunge in September of 2019 to start not one, but two businesses at the tender age of, you know what? I'm not telling you that. You're going to have to decide that for you. And he did this in Lagos, Nigeria. Now that's grit right there. Okay. Going back home and setting up not one, but two businesses. Come on. And this is in Stan's own words. He says, as you are fully aware, lockdown started around February of 2020, exactly 6 months after he has invested his nest egg. Ay, 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 ay. This set the scene nicely to what he would have told his younger self. Are you ready or what? He is married to the beautiful Juliet that we see on here today. They have beautiful children. And can I just say that? Can I just say this? Can I just say this? I want to take this opportunity to say a very big congratulations to Stan's parents. They have been married for 60 years. Oh my God, who's tapping into that? I want it. So, sir, madam, if you are watching us, or if you'll watch us somewhere down the road, we congratulate you. We look up to you. We are so glad you've made it this far, okay? And we bless you. We bless you. Listen, guys, let's jump into it. Can I please introduce Stan T. Adesina, owner of El Tie brand, London. Let us do like we do in To My Younger Self fashion and give him a round of applause first, even though I can't hear you. But let it show in the comment section right now. Hi, Stan. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much. You're far too kind with that introduction.
Oh, I feel I didn't even do you justice. I was struggling with that a bit today.
I'm writing a check right now, so I'm posting it to you.
Producer, can you put my address in the comment section? I need that check.
No, I'll transfer the Bitcoin.
Whoa.
Let's do it digitally.
Oh my good God, now we're talking.
So how are you doing? How's everybody doing out there?
Yes, I am well. So many people saying welcome to you. Stan, like we always do, this is your show now. Take us away.
Okay. So I'm going to say Ekaro, or is it Ekason to all my Yoruba people out there?
Oh!
Yes. So let's just get right into it. So a bit of background about myself. So I was born many moons ago, right? In a city, a lovely city. I'll probably say the best city, if I do say so myself, in Western Africa. So in Nigeria, Ibadan. So that's where I was born.
Wow.
And so growing up, this the memory is very pleasant for me. So when you live in an environment where the community spirit is strong. So from the minute you step from outside your own house to the neighborhood, everything is just pleasant. And the fifth of six, but I'm the last born, and it's crazy, right? I'm the fifth of six children, but I'm the last born. So in
Really?
Yoruba, yes.
How
So
do
in
you
Yoruba,
explain that? I'm sorry, I gotta.
right. So in Yoruba culture, so if you're a twin, so I've got a twin sister. So right. So in the Yoruba culture, if you're the first of the twin, you are technically the younger twin because the your twin has asked you to go to the world first. So the fact that they're sending you to go see what the world is like means that they pull ranks over you. So even though I'm the first of the twin, so in our culture, I'm the younger twin. So yeah,
Wow. Did you
yes. So
guys know that? I did not know that. That's something good to know. Wow, because I
yes,
said I'm gonna have twins one day. I don't even know why I say it, but I can
yeah, and
feel that.
yes, and as a Yoruba twin, the name is always defined. So the first twin is Taiwo, and the second twin is Kende. So
Wow.
the T, they stand T, so the T is Taiwo. So that's my twin name.
Wow. I did
Yes,
not know that. Wow. Thank you for
yes.
sharing that. That's a powerful story already.
Right. So yeah. So as I said, the growing up, the environment was fantastic. My family life, my parents. I mean, you mentioned my dad, mom and dad, married 60 years. Again, that's the testament, of growing up in kind of like a stable environment. The fact that they even together like now. Dad is 87, mom is 85, and so there's a lot of blessing, a lot of love. So, but one thing that I want to share with our audience today. So shortly, I'll probably say when I kind of like got into secondary school. So dad's business, like how everything is comfortable. You're in a middle class, like growing up in a middle class environment. Everything is good. And then business kind of, in Nigeria, again, we're going to touch upon this. And I actually witnessed some of these things when I went back to do business in Nigeria, like back in 2019. So my dad is somebody that, is just full of integrity, stand-up man, you know, and then when he goes out there to try and get like contract as a building like engineer. So for you to get contracts, you need to kind of like grease people's palm. You know how it is in that.
Oh my God, Ghana,
Yeah, yes. And for
Nigeria.
somebody, yes. So for somebody as principled as him, I think it's always struggled with that concept. So it's one of those people that when he wants to tender for a contract, it goes. I mean, you can see my dad. He's got this big desk upstairs, and it's like ruler, like just literally putting everything together. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and everything is perfect. And then he submits the tender, and then you probably just find somebody that's not half as qualified as him, but just because maybe they've greased people's palm, and then they will get the contract over him. And it just, so it then became a situation where things were not as, I'd say, good as it should be, and then, growing up, family of six, dad's business is not as thriving as it was. Things became a little bit difficult.
Mm.
But then again, it's not just, I've had to dig deep to bring this story out because even though the business wasn't as, thriving as it should be, my mom is a school teacher. So at some point, we'd live like almost like 6 months on just the one salary. Because even as, when you do some of these big projects, you wait until you go through the whole mechanism of getting your contract money. So you have to probably go to some civil servant, like, okay, come today, come tomorrow, and then maybe 6 months down the line, that's when you then get your money. So there are times like 6 months that we just surviving on just a single salary, like my mom's salary. But even at that, I felt so happy, growing up. You never feel like, you're missing out. And again, that's just a testament to, I'd say my parent. And that's one thing that I've always said to anybody that care to listen, that I don't care about anybody out there, like, oh, you're Bill Gates or, wherever, how big you are. My dad has always been my hero in the sense that even when things were really, really tough, he still maintained, it's like a gentleman, it's a community leader. And I thought, if you, no matter what life throws at you, it doesn't mean that you should compromise your integrity, right? You still need to maintain that method that, do you know what, I'm somebody, I've got this thing, I've got it. And I think that's one thing I learned from him, and it stayed with me.
Wow.
So, yeah. So when I then went to secondary school, the secondary school I went to, it's called Government College Ibadan. I'm sure some of your Nigerian viewers will know the school. I still think it's the best school, up school in Nigeria, but some people might argue with me. So as you can imagine, there's so many people from everywhere, like very like rich background, middle family, lower family. It's just a good mix. And being in the boarding house as well, you meet all sorts of people. And again, you just, even though, as I said, the whole family, I'd say finances is not as great as it could be, but you still don't feel like you're missing out. So one thing is, every time I've always been with my friends, I don't, I can just stand up straight and just, give one or two accounts of myself. And again, I think that's a very good lesson in life, in the sense that it doesn't matter, what situation or position you find yourself, always just have that confidence, right? And that's always stayed with me. So I remember this story, which was, again, I've had to go straight deep into the archive for this.
But you
There was
know
one-
what, Stan? Let me. I'm gonna break just a little bit. I know you're just now about to get into the story, so I'm gonna let you breathe, get a cup of tea or coffee, while we take a message from this month, our sponsor. Again, let me just say a very, very big thank you to our sponsor of the month, the Young Shimmigrant series, and of course, the Humanity Chat. We're going to go to them real quick, take a quick 30-second or so message from them, and then we're going to come back, by which time Stan will be ready to jump into the story. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the Young Shimmigrant series and the Humanity Chat. Did I just do that? Humanity Chat. Yes, I did that. All right, here we go. We'll be right back.
I am brave. I am brave. I will be kind. I will be kind. And I will dream big. And I will dream big. So when I say Sasha, say America. Sasha, America. Sasha, America.
And we are back. All right, Stan. Stan T, Stan the man. All you.
Yes. So I've had my cup of coffee. I'm not going to plug
Ooh.
the. I'm not
And
going
it
to
says
plug the.
Maya's Cafe. Yes,
Nah,
this is how we do it.
yeah, no plug, no plug.
We plugged it though. We're so glad you did.
Yes. So one story. So again, yeah. So this is boarding house. Like when the boys were just there, just having a chat one day, just like maybe 8 p.m. in a dorm, and everybody's just giving stories of their life. And then you see all these like boys that every summer they're always going to UK or US. And then as a little boy growing up in Africa, that's probably everybody's dream, is always to travel, right? And then all these boys were, giving an account of, oh yeah, I went to Trafalgar Square, I went to this place, I went to that place. And then somebody just said to me that, oh, Stan, have you been to London before? And before I could answer the question, somebody just talked from over me, like, yes, it's been. And I looked at the guy that, okay, tell me about when I went to London, right? And this guy was literally telling these guys that, oh, I know Stan, I know his family. There's no way he hasn't been to London. Like, and I'm like, okay, so who am I to disagree with you, right? And it's that sort of thing. Again, it's just, I guess, the outlook, right? Like when you just carry yourself a certain way.
Wow.
So I must add, the first time I actually came to London, that's the first time I stepped on the plane ever in my life. And that's when I came to London.
How old were you at that time?
Yeah, so at that time, so that was just after secondary school. So it was maybe 6 years after the story was told. So maybe that guy saw, it's probably a prophet today. Yeah, so again, coming back to, the growing up, as I said, there wasn't, my parents, they did a lot just to make sure that we never want for anything. So again, another story which, we had neighbors, and again, different people with different family lifestyle, right? And I can just remember our next door neighbor. They have, I'm not joking, probably about 6 cars in their compound. And again, yeah, when it gets to a point that, that age 15, 16 in Nigeria, then for a boy that's gone to a nice secondary school with, so you begin to hang around some of your friends, and they've got like nice cars, they can just come to your house and pick you up. Okay, let's go out. And then again, I wish I can drive. And then you start taking the car, like maybe bashing 1 or 2 times, and then you just get yourself on the road. And it got to a point where we had 2 cars in the family. So my dad had his car, mom had a car. And at some point, it just became 1 car in the family. And it got to a point that even with the 1 car in the family, I would have a situation where, my dad has, maybe gone out, is then picked mom up from school, and then they both in, and then the car is just sitting there. And I'm like, oh, Dad, you need something from the shop, or do just an excuse to jump in the car?
Drive, oh God.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, yeah. So can you go get me like something like, I don't know, some piece of grocery or something? And then I jump in the car. So something that should take you like maybe 20 minutes will end up being a 2-hour journey. And it's just, again, it's little things
did you
like.
Used to say it was traffic? You said, it's the Lagos traffic.
Ibadan. Well, so we live in Ibadan, which is not,
yes.
I guess, yeah. So in the evening, they also, yeah, but I think they understood that, as a young boy, impressionable young boy, you needed to do some of these things anyway. And so the childhood was comfortable, but it was still, there was still enough kind of, I won't say pain, but you just know that, okay, sometimes you cannot always do what you want to do.
Mm.
But the fact that, they're always there for you, I think that just gave the confidence. And again, that's just a testament to how wonderful they are.
Mm-hmm.
And again, because I know this program is to my younger self, right? So if I kind of fast forward to now and I look at my family life, I mean, you mentioned my wife, Juliet, she's on.
She's on. Hi.
Hi, Juliet. Yeah, so these are the sort of things that when you then become like a family man yourself, what drives you to want to be the best person, right? It's because of the background, these things, it's not, I don't think people just, if you grew up in a certain environment where maybe people are not respected, it will be very difficult for you to learn or for that to become a second nature to you. So again, I think just when I kind of witnessed that kind of loving background and environment that I grew up in, I just thought, what, there's nothing, I have to be this person or even better than that person. So the bar was set quite high. So it's like my dad, yeah. So my parents now, it's like they're celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. So now I know that I'm gonna have to do that regardless.
Yes, with
I am
God's help, you will.
yeah, I am doing that. So yeah, but I think for I don't know the demographics of some of the audience. So I think the way I'm trying to set up this story as well is to pick up on things that propelled me in life as well. So I'll say this for anybody that cares to listen. I mean, you might have people on the show and they're like, Doctor this, Professor that, PhD that.
Mhm.
I've always been bang on average student all my life. Average. It's
Oh,
like I'm never top of the class and I'll never be
well,
bottom
like
of the
right in
class,
the middle.
but right middle is comfortable. That is the way I see life. Middle is comfortable, right? And sometimes with all the pressures in life, right, it's very easy for you to compare yourself. Oh, how come I'm not the smartest in the room, or how come I'm not this? You understand? But you not the bottom of the class, right? So there's still a little bit of comfort in that. But one thing that again I've always promised myself is to I know it's quite stupid in a way, but I've always had this thing in my head that it's going to be style over substance, right? So if I'm not the smartest in the room, I'm going to try to be the most stylish in the room. And
Wow.
that thing carried me far in life. I will not even lie to you. So I remember the first job I had. Again, this is fast forward to UK. So I was inside the lift with the CEO of the business, and I didn't know this man knew me from anywhere. And he turned around and he said, "Oh, you're that boy from Tracy's team. That's my boss then." And I'm like, yes." And it shows when people were going to work and they were dressing like maybe just the t-shirt, so I would probably wear like a three-piece suit, or sometimes just mix it up, right? Like waistcoat or just some pink shirt when everybody was wearing white and blue. So I think again that's another message I want to put out there. So for all the average student out there, all is not lost. Get your style on and you are going to make it in life. Seriously, star over substance. So other people can come in and they can tell you, okay, we professor this with this. Okay, fine. People, I mean, look at Zuckerberg, right? It doesn't have to be smart. It can just go everywhere in his t-shirts and jeans because he's got a genius like brain. But for people like me without the genius like brain, what we're going to do? We're going to turn up the style.
Wow.
So yes,
Someone
and
told
that
me just a couple of weeks ago, they said image is everything. Image allows
precisely.
people to actually see you and notice you. Now, what job was this? The first one you got that made the CEO notice you?
Yeah, so it was, I'd say, so I was in university at the time. And then it's more like a summer job, you have like some time and then you just go, okay, let me go do. So it was like an admin, nothing too serious. Again, even more reason why I shouldn't turn up to work in a suit, right? Because it was like a casual environment.
Mm.
And I just decided that, what, I want to look a little bit smart. And I would just put on a
Brought it up.
nice, yeah, a nice jacket, just to feel good, and it's little things like that. So people always notice you. They might not know your name,
Mm.
but you stand out in the crowd. And so I think again, going back to my um childhood, my dad has always, and my mom, even now, my mom, when she dresses up at age 80, I mean, Juliet will tell you, she's like, okay,
And I wish we had a
yeah,
picture because I saw a picture of your dad looking really smart when
oh,
he was
yeah,
cutting the cake. Just like
yeah.
what? Like I just looked at that picture, going, "Whoa! Look at that man!
Yeah,
So
yeah,
sharp! Wow!"
yeah. So yeah, so everything again, everything I am in life, I owe to that man. Is a smart man. He's actually very clued up as well. But I mean, I don't know how I became an average student, but let's just blame that on me not applying myself too much. But all wasn't lost, right? So as I said, you know, the environment. Another thing is, I think when you choose your friends,
Mm.
so sometimes people get a little bit intimidated about people around them. So if you go into a room and you think that, other people have maybe a better this, or they're coming from a better background than you kind of fade into the back.
Mm.
But I just think, again, from my background, we're given the opportunity to kind of like just, find our voice. Again, I mean, family of six, but at no point did you feel like you had to fade into the background. And being the youngest as well, we were all given that opportunity to just, speak up. Dad will come in, or ask you, how was your day? Everything you do, like all the things you did right were heavily rewarded, and some of your mishaps were not even like, when people can descend on you, like, oh, you've done this. I can remember when I was learning how to drive, and I took my dad's car, and then it wasn't actually me that crashed the car. So this an expose on the program. So I took my dad's car, and then I went out to one of my friend's house, and they said, "Oh yeah, you can drive, you can drive." And then he took the car, and he was trying to come, like just maybe just drive the car a little bit, and then he bashed the car. And then I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I had to go home and told my parents that I was the one that crashed the car.
Wow.
Yeah, and just imagine, like, my dad's business is not as thriving as it should be. It's gonna be like a burden to get this fixed now. And my dad said, "Oh yeah, you never drive again. Don't you ever touch the car again. This, and the other." And I'm like in the room thinking, "Oh, my life is over now." And then 2 or 3 days after, I said, "Oh, can you go and get me newspaper from the?" Yeah, and that's just the sort of person he is. Yes, no,
Wow.
yeah. So very forgiving spirit like that. So,
Wow.
and again, I think for me, it's just, those kind of moments back then.
Mm.
So when you look at yourself now and you think, when you're dealing with people like friends, colleagues, it's just
Mm.
your younger self. So I know this program is what do you tell your younger self? But I'm thinking that most of the wisdom we've been through, right? Because that's when our formative years, we were going through certain things. And now the way we are is kind of like predefined by some of the associations and all those
Yes.
connections that we made back in the day. So it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship of
Like a loop.
young telling old, old telling young.
Mm.
And because I mean, when you told me about the format of this program, I struggled for a little bit of time, and
Oh,
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go back and just think about where I am now and just say, okay, this is what I'm going to tell my younger self to correct everything. And then it's like, okay, no, you have to tell the story from when you were young. And yeah, so
I see the struggle. You're like, where do I begin?
yeah,
Stories, experiences.
yeah. So how do you compress a 40 plus, almost 50 plus like existence into like a 45 minutes or 1 hour segment? And I've lived some, like decent life. I won't even lie to you. Life has been pleasant. And but the fact that we started that kind of modest environment, I think that's sort of like helped me as well, like even my present self, right? Because you mentioned me starting my business in 2019,
Yes.
right? So war, pandemic, right? That was what I put all my savings into this business. I won't bore you guys with all the details. And in Lagos, then we hit that sweet spot. I mean, it was extremely difficult because we went around September, me and my business partner, because we started up with the cafe. And we did all our sums. When you do all your calculations, you put all the flex it this way, you put all the contingencies, you put everything. When we got to Lagos, everything we thought we knew, we didn't know, right?
Wow.
People, from the landlord, like when they said, "Oh yeah, you can come get the property for like, I don't know, maybe 1 million naira," and then all the hidden costs that came through when we got there. So something simple as, "Oh, there's no power, like power supply."
You
So
never
now you have
took
to,
it.
yeah. So now you have to, apart from paying for NEPA, which is not constant. You then have to pay for diesel. And on top of that, you then have to start doing other kind of solutions like inverters and all that. And these are cost on cost on cost. And then it got to a point that, you know, we were able to, within a month of getting there, the business started trading. And you cannot imagine the delight, like when you make your first, like I'd say 100 naira or 200 naira. I mean, if I compare this to pounds that, you know, I'm kind of used to, it's probably nothing, right? But the fact that this is yours, that this is your brainchild, and somebody's actually paying for, you know, for something that you are offering them, the joy is immense, right?
Wow.
And yeah, so and by the time we hit December, we had steady stream of customers, you know, things were going very well. And I called my business partner that, you know what, at this rate, you know, we're gonna make all our money back in like maybe the next 6 months or so.
Oh God, you tempted fate.
Yes, and then February came. It's like I was in UK at the time, and then obviously the whole pandemic has started, lockdown, everything, and boom, we just had to shut down the cafe.
God.
And that was the beginning of, I'd say, you know, this film, say 7 years a slave, or
12 years a slave.
so, oh, it's not even, yeah, sorry.
It's not even
See,
well.
I'm that positive that I knocked some of the years off, right? So that was the start of my world of pain, because all the things that, all the money invested in the business that you think that, okay, you're going to make back, you're not thinking, am I ever going to make this money back?
Wow.
And the story in there again is always make sure, because I've had friends in the past, right, that they've gone into business and they didn't involve their partner. Yeah. So when I started the business, so Juliet was involved all the step of the way.
So
Right?
when you said partner, you mean your wife?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Partner.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so your spouse, or yeah, whatever, wife, girlfriend, long-time girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, whatever.
Let's
Right?
stick with wife for now. Wife.
Yes, yeah, wife.
Wife.
So yeah, so because it's very easy, right? So for men, especially my generation of men, there's always the tendency sometimes to say that they want to do something and just keep you away from the family. I'm a, you know, a grown man, you know, I can make decisions on my own and all that. And I was so glad that, you know, I took her through all the process. And I mean, she was so supportive to start with. But when the problem hit, right? So would you come to for the comfort? So
Her. Wow.
yeah, exactly. And it's one thing, you know, I waited all my life. I had this ambition to go into business all my life. I was comfortable in my corporate world, right? Everything was fine. But there was still that kind of feeling, some void that if you do, I know I could do it, but I just haven't had the opportunity to do it. When I then decided to do it, you know, just a few months down the line, this global pandemic just almost shut down and derailed everything. Wow. Again, you go back into your childhood. You know, I've been there before. I've seen my dad go through this kind of situation where it was comfortable, and then because of your situation in the country, business wasn't as good as it can be. You know, how he just had to humble himself. My dad came back to England probably at age 60. He had some debts in Nigeria to pay. He's a proud man, but he didn't let that phase him. He came to this country age 60. He started doing like one or two like security jobs there, and he paid off his debt in Nigeria. So again, for me, when that situation hit me, you know, back in 2020, it's very easy for you to think, oh, I put a lot of money into this. And you hear stories, right? People, you know, they have a nervous breakdown. Some people kill themselves because of failed business, right? So again, because of the kind of background, the resilience that
And
that
the
you've
stuff
seen.
you saw your father go through it many times.
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
So I think that prepared me. So when I went through it, you know, it was hard, because when you've been comfortable for too long, and I guess if you think about pandemic as well, apart from the fact that it affected some people, like business wise, some people actually lost their life. So you start compartmentalizing everything, that okay, even though I did the business, it wasn't going as strong as it should be, or we were losing our money investment, but we still have, I didn't, all through that period, I was probably the only person that did about 6 or 7 tests, and every single test came back negative, because I was, yeah, I mean, Juliet was convinced that some of them were like false positive, but hey, I never got a negative. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So, and I think this is again the reason why, when I had the opportunity to come tell my story, I just thought, you know what, I'd really, really love to talk about this, because I'm sure there are people out there, like I said, they might be going through a situation right now that they think that, okay, do you know what, I could, things can be a lot better than it.
They are,
Just,
yes.
yeah, stick with it. It's going to be better. You might be an average student and you're thinking, oh, because I'm average student, I'll never make it in life. Nope. Just be smart about it.
Dial it
Yes.
up.
Yeah, style it up and then you'll
Dial
be
it up
good.
to get to the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. And
Wow.
just maintain your integrity as well, right? Because no matter what I'm going through, I'm never going to cut corners. I'm never going to get involved with like bad crowd. I'm going to always, I'm going to have a story, always have a story to tell. It might just be like a modest story, or I don't care, I'm going to find a way to make myself relevant when I'm with my friend. And in my corporate, like years of being in corporate world, I mean, you come across all manner of people, like, people that have gone to Cambridge University, like very like
Oxford and Harvard.
Oxford, yeah, all those kind of places. And when they see you, they look at you like, you're one of us. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of you.
Because I
but
went to the real
yeah,
school. The
yeah,
real one.
it's just the way you carry yourself, right? And I just remember there was one person, I can't remember his name with now, and he said to me, he said, Stan, are you royalty? And I'm like, yeah, because
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, he probably thought like, I'm some prince of Zamunda or somewhere, But it's just
That's
again,
where you say, yes, I am.
yeah, and I guess it's just the same story about when you're with people, it's just the way you carry yourself. So the confidence is what I think would always propel you, your integrity. So to kind of like summarize a little bit, I'm one of those people that I just feel like I've been blessed all my life, and I'm not I'm not the sort of person that when something, when you feel like your life is good and something happens, so it's very easy for people to start, blaming other people for like, oh, somebody did it, or nah, nah, nah. It's just I take as a time to just reflect, right? Pause, don't get emotional. And I think that's another thing. People get emotional sometimes. When you see that something is not going right, you don't trust your instinct. And that brings me to the brand El Tai, right? So that's the last little story I'm
Last
going to
story you're
tell.
going to tell.
Yeah.
But before you do that, I just see so many comments coming in. I thought we should take a moment, first of all, to acknowledge everyone that's here. And I see Adesina Ademola is here. And is that your
That's my big brother, by the
Oh, that's
way. Lots of family support today.
Yes, yes. And this is what To My Younger Self is really about, the fact that we are Africans and we're very communal. We show up for each other. And so, hey bro, Hello. He says, respect, bro. Love you always. I see another brother of yours that is here, and let me find him. Uncle A Coffee Show. He says, anytime we keep businesses away from our spouses, it just leads to more headaches. This is proper perspective right there. I see now Koa, who says our men, they even say, don't ask me where I'm going. Then they get lost and still don't trust sat now. He says, Matilda Kokui Wemega says, big ups, my sunshine. Oh my God, I see.
That's my second wife, by the way.
Not going there.
And that's the first wife saying big ups to this.
And she says, thanks for the support. I love this camaraderie. Is that the word? That, we just show up for each other, and we are so in awe of all the stuff you've gone through. And the most important thing I'm taking away from all of your stories today is the impact that your father has had on you and continues to have on you. The beautiful thing about that is that we get to tell the rest of the world that there is a lot of good men on the continent of Africa, a lot of good men who are they have integrity, they have respect for themselves. And as you were talking, everybody has heard me talk about my own father many, many times. And I said, you know what? He sounds just like my father, and we all grow up with that inside of us. And so I just want to say thank you. People like Ekol Fisho, Uncle Ben Dochemalo, Uncle Rudolph. There's so many of you guys really actually taking life seriously and doing life with an open heart, an open mind, and integrity. And I know we're not done yet, but I just wanted to say thank you. Beverly Ross says that don't quit, hang in there. That message was for me. Because you know what? I've been through hell and high water. And even this morning, I kept saying to myself, man, do I have to wake up? I don't want to at all. But you know what? I woke up, put my makeup on, put my smile on, styled it up, and I'm here, and we're doing this together. So thank you for that. And Big Sis Elsie says, Stan, are you royalty? Heck yeah. Say that. You are royalty. School of Life is a real Russell group at Ivy League. Yes, yes, yes. And so there's so many people here, and I just wanted to take time to say thank you all for showing up and being a part of this storytelling time. Stan, back over to you. But before that, can I also say another very big thank you to our sponsor? We have to do that, right? We have to go back to the people that help us. The Young Shimmigrant series. This is a series that I believe talking about going back and watching what our parents have done so we can go on in life. This is what the Young Shimmigrant series is about. So get it for your children, get it for any young person that is in your life. They will learn the art of perseverance, like Stan T is talking about. They will learn the art of integrity through these storybooks. And there's a lot of young people out there who also don't have parents in their lives or guardians in their lives. This is one of the way we get to guide them. So find it on Amazon, find it on Book Nook, find it anywhere books are sold. And with that being said, over to you again, Stan. Let's go.
Right. Okay. So welcome to the final segment of the story.
Yes.
But you know one thing though, I'm actually beating myself up for this.
Uh-oh.
So when we were growing up, right, there's no story in Nigeria, right, that never starts with once upon a time, and then and then all the classes say time.
You know what? Let's do it right now. Go. Can you guys help us? He's gonna say it, and you just go in the comment section and say time. Let's go.
Okay. Once upon a time.
Time.
Yeah. So I said I was going to start my story with once upon a time, but yeah. Right. So the final story is the brand El Tai. Mm-hmm. Right. And how that came to be. So I mentioned Maya's Cafe, like that's the actual business that we set up in Nigeria.
Yes.
But what prompted the Maya's Cafe was the El Tai.
Mm.
So I just one of my friend, very good friend. So we went to the same secondary school in Nigeria, GCI. So he stays in Lagos, and he called me one time. Oh, I'm coming to UK, and then said, okay, fine, just call me when you are around. And then we went for a drink. And whilst we're having a drink, there was another friend that came from. So he lives in Kenya, a Nigerian guy, and went to the same school. It's 1 year my junior. So it was, it then,
A reunion.
yeah,
Wow.
it was like a mini reunion. And I then find out that this guy in Kenya, he's got like a really nice brand, and uh, he's been in the design business for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And, his brand is doing really well. Didn't know anything about this. And then, as for every businessman, you meet people, you just want to show them what you do, flog them some of your ways. And then he tried to sell these shoes to me for like £200. And I looked at him like, I don't even know you. Why would I spend £200 of my money on shoes? You're not Gucci, you're not Prada. Just as one does, like, if you say it's £50, maybe, I just say, yeah, I'm supporting you. Anyway, long story short, I managed to pick up that piece of pair of shoes for £100, which I thought, okay, do you know what? You're supporting your friend, it's fine. And then I got home, I looked at I'm like, wow, this is really good quality. So I called the other guy, the Connect, and I said, I think there's a business here, right? I'm spotting a niche in the market because, when we're at this point in time, a lot of us don't want a situation where we're making billionaires, like even richer. So we start thinking, let's start spending money, like invest in our people, black pounds, all those sorts of things. And I said, if we can make this kind of shoes, maybe lose some of the bells and whistles so it's not as expensive as £200. Just target like your £50 to £100 market. There might be something in there. And he said, oh, yeah, yeah, just give him a call. He gave me his number. Like, see, and I won't bore you with the whole, all the conversations, but we then decided to form the brand El Tai together.
What does
Right.
that mean, by the way?
Yeah. So the Thai, so my middle name T Thai, yeah. So that's the Thai of the El Tai, and the EL is actually this business partner's like a play on his surname as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I
So we
thought it
kind
was
of
like L Jor-El or something from
yeah,
Superman
yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah. So it's one of those, L in Spanish is probably a de, so like
Right.
one of the, yeah. So yeah, we just for a play on that word. So we started the brand, and everything was going fine. And what we were going to do was open like a flagship store in Lagos. And I thought, okay, if I was going to be setting up this clothing brand with this person, how about I do something just for myself in tandem? And that's when I thought about the coffee shop as well. So rather than put maybe X amounts of money, it's not X squared of money than putting into both businesses.
Wow.
Again, story to my younger self, maybe start with one business and then go into the other business. Don't start both businesses at once. But it was just, I've had a lot of fun over the years. I thought, you know what, let me just go for it. And in the end, I mean, we're here now. We've had to kind of like go back to the drawing board because things didn't go, it didn't end well with me and this business partner I mean, he's not here to defend himself, so I'm not going to throw any kind of accusation this way. But let's just say that we different kind of people, right? So he had these ideas about how business should be, and even though we started though with the mandate that we're going to make this we targeting like I'd say, the low cost luxury market, he still wanted to maintain like the higher price, and that format didn't work for me.
Right.
And a lot of the money that I kind of put into the business, I wasn't seeing the return from his side.
Mhm.
He didn't introduce me to all the suppliers, the back end. And it just got to a point that I'm like, okay, do you know what? I'm gonna have to do this myself,
Mhm.
right? And I had a frank conversation with the guy that, I don't think you and I, we've tried this thing, it's not working, So we decided that, let's just go our separate ways.
Wow.
So I kept the name, right? Just again, you can be negative about the whole thing that, oh, this person did me wrong or whatever. But I'm like, do you know what? Nah, I'm not changing anything. It's gonna stay as it is. And I know you're the one with the experience in the business, the 15 years, 20 years. You had the product. I don't know anything, but I'm going to use this as a lesson for myself. I'm going to seek out all the producers out there. I'm going to make something out of this brand. And I made sure that, I, I took him out of the business in the sense that, like just anywhere that it can come later on in the future to say that, oh, I own like a percentage of this or that,
Right.
So yeah. So that's the fire that is pushing me now, that. And again, I mentioned your instinct, right? Like trust your instinct. Because when things started going a certain way, it took me a little bit of time. Because my instinct said, you know what, even though we started on a good note, but this guy is showing certain behavior that is not kind
Mhm.
of like beneficial to the mutual business, well, the interest.
Interest,
But
right?
it took me probably about 2 or 3 months for me to finally get to that area where I just said I'm going on
Wow.
my own now. And again, that's a lesson, right? When your instinct tells you something is not right,
Okay.
sometimes it's very easy for people to say, oh, just because I've invested time and money into something, they keep on going. And
Get
in a
out.
way, yeah, you can let your emotions cloud, the that early warning system, right? So again, it's anybody out there, if you're getting yourself involved, in a business, especially a partnership, if you notice that something, if your instinct says to you, this is not right, just trust your instinct, right?
Wow.
And you are far stronger than you think you are. Because when I then had to do this on my own, right? Everything I'm wearing now is my design. I've had to work with people, like just find out producers myself. I've got people that can produce stuff for me in Turkey. I've got people in India. I got people in,
That's
Pal-
crazy.
yeah. So you just
I'm
the
coming for
world.
classes with you. Shoot. Are you offering those? Wow.
No, but seriously. So, because when I went into it, I thought I was gonna. It was the experienced person,
Mhm.
and I just went in that. Okay, I was going to just take all the lessons from him. But invariably, I think with people sometimes they when they maybe this he spotted some kind of greatness in me, maybe, and something scared him that maybe this guy's going to be bigger than me. And then, like back in school back then, when all the smart kids, when they writing and it's like, what am I going to answer? Yeah, and then they're like, nah, you're not going to say this. What I wanted to say, I'm just saying some classmates would probably want to say what they're writing,
Wow.
right? Yeah, so it became like that. And I'm glad. And I think it gave me sort of like peace of mind when it just got to a point where you're making all the decisions yourself. If you need, I mean, I'm not saying do everything yourself, but if you seek out like people's help on your terms, right? If I don't know how to do something and I come to you that, what do you think of this? What do you think of the combination? And you giving me, or if I say to you that for 10% or something, can you do something for me? Those are your terms. But
Mm,
when you go into something and people are then, they're trying to almost kill your ideas, and that, and you're,
mm.
this feels good, this feels right, and somebody is saying to you it's not right, then you have to question why they're saying that. Is that for your benefit or for their benefit?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think yeah, that's me.
I
So
first there's a couple of questions for you. Um,
yes.
Producer Elsie says, please share where El Thai can be bought. And that's why I left the scrolling ticker there. So
Yeah.
I know you're revamping, in the stage of revamping now. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so we have a website, and I was rushing frantically to try and get the website all sorted out. But again, that's just you just have to say, okay, do you know what? I need a little bit more time.
Yes.
Again, I'm a perfectionist, right? So this is the third tranche of my website. So I had the working website, and then I went in and I wasn't feeling the website. You know, like when you look at your stuff and you're like, I'm not
I don't
nah, I'm
feel
not.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
I know
Yeah,
what.
I'm not feeling this.
Yes.
So I then, because the person that did the website for me is actually a friend, and he wasn't really charging me. He was just doing it in his spare
Oh,
time. So as you can imagine, it was fine, but it just wasn't as it should be. And then when I went to Nigeria last year, I met a very young guy, and then he showed me some of the portfolio of work that he's done. I'm like, okay, that's good. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you the contract. You know, paid him handsomely to do this. What he didn't tell me was it was in the middle of planning a wedding,
I
right? Exactly. So it then became, every spare time he had to share it between planning a wedding and doing the website.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it frustrated the life out of me. Again, it's not here to defend himself, so I'm not going to speak ill of him. But it just got to a point that I'm like, do you know what? This is not working. And that's after spending a bit of money. I had to just stop, like, just stop. So I then got involved with another friend. So it's an IT person from UK, similar to me. So he's been there for a while, but he's now gone back to Nigeria to establish business there. But when you deal with people that they've been here, then they've gone back to say Africa, you always find out, okay, I think it's best of both worlds because they have the discipline, the training from here, right? And then they understand what you're trying to do. And the fact that they're back there, it probably won't be as expensive as maybe if you're paying them in pounds. So I just thought, it's best of both worlds. So, and so I'm very glad that I met this person because we're able to do a lot of even stuff that I wasn't thinking about. It's not, apart from building the website, it's not even connecting me with people that can
Wow.
that can grow the business. I thought, okay, do you know what? I like this approach, but the trade off is it's not as it's a little bit busy as well. So I've had to like last Sunday I told you this. So I've had to drive all the way like 40 miles to go to his house to try and just and when I was there, I had about 2 or 3 other people there as well, like for one various business or the other that they were all
Oh
doing.
my
So
God.
what should have been like a concentrated like 2 hours or 3 hours of just doing stuff became like maybe 30 minutes of doing the website and then another like 30 minutes of trying to raise money for another business and I think so I think that's the good thing about being in the business world and it's exciting. It's risky. It's dangerous, right? But it just sets you alive, and I think that's to me. I'm not the takeaways. I'm glad I finally decided to step into the business world. I, I still don't have the confidence as at now to fully leave the corporate world because there's just that fear that you still need to just
You need
have
something
something
to hold
coming
on.
in,
Right.
some kind of safety net. And the problem with that kind of setup is if you spend a lot more time, like if you ditch your corporate world and then you face your business fully, you get things moving like a lot quicker, right? But then you lose your safety net. And finding that balance is just where I am at the moment. So things are a little bit slow, but we every day we move, we put
Move. Yes, you
yeah,
move. So
yeah.
for now, to answer that question, we're gonna find the brand El Thai on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, so yeah, Instagram, you can message me, we can try and
All that
set
will
something
happen
up.
on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yes.
But the website, I think I don't want to tempt fate, but I would say in the next couple of weeks. We've got Easter break coming up. So at that time to, put more products on. So I would say within the next 2 to 3 weeks, would have website up and running.
Wow.
And I've made a promise to all your viewers as well that, I'm going to send you a link, like our coupon or something. So we're going to, we're going to have like maybe a 10 or 15% or, some sort of like family percentage, just, we'll definitely do that.
I'll say thank you to Brand L Ty and of course Stan T, the man. I'm going to just call him Stan the man now. One last question from Uncle Eko, who says, are you still friends with him? I believe he was referring to your business partner who you started L Ty with. And then after this, we're going to try to round off. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not friends with him in the sense that I don't call him. He probably won't call me. But because we went to the same school, we got mutual friends. If I bump into him, a function or whatever, I'll say hi and I'll be zen. I'll be zen, because it's very easy for me to say, oh, this person did me wrong. But if I didn't meet him, I can probably honestly say to you that I won't have both businesses today. And just even if nothing comes out of, if one of the business fails or both fails, I will still be happy in the sense that at least I've learned one or two things about myself. And if I'm then going to do this again in the next 2 years or 3 years, I've got all my experiences and memories and everything that, and so all that bit you can never ever replicate, right? So so that I don't, it's fine. You meet people like that, you just say hi, and one day they're going to regret the decision, right? So so it's fine.
I love the way Mrs. stepped in when the question was first asked, and kind of just gave the answer right there. This is what we call community support right here. And I'm so excited to see this wife-husband thing going on, even in the background. She's like hitting all the points for you. But the question hasn't even been asked yet. It's so beautiful. And I'm so glad to get to see it. Yes.
Yeah. But do you know what? Growing up in Nigeria, right? When I came to UK, and you never, I mean, you're aware of other people out there. Like we growing up, we had a lot of Ghanaians in Nigeria anyway. But when I met Juliet, it was just, like how people say, oh, I don't trust. Even some people don't trust people from the same country, as long as if I'm Yoruba and somebody's Hausa or Igbo, I don't want to. And then the fact that I actually went outside of Nigeria to Ghana, and I'm so glad I did, because it just, the way it opens your world, right? I remember my first trip to Ghana. We came to Nigeria first, and then I was asking her, "Oh, is it the same?" Like, and she's like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, we're both West Africa. Like, how different can it be?" And then I got there, I'm like, "Okay," but with the same people, I mean, it's still a little bit like maybe economic difference and all that, but the world, just the amount of people that I've been able to meet in life, just because I've then decided to be with this person, how she's opened my mind to so many things, I cannot thank her enough. So
wow. Oh my
and Elsie, your producer, right? I'm going to tell you a very quick story. I went to Canada and I saw her, and she bought me an avocado slushy.
Oh, wow.
I've never had avocado slushy in my life. And then the first taste.
In Canada.
Yeah. And she's like, how was it? I'm like, chewy. Because it was still a little bit chewy, right?
Wow.
So Elsie, thanks for that slushy. And anytime I'm in Canada, we have to do that again.
I love Uncle Fisho because he's all about supporting Africans everywhere. He says coupon code. He goes on and he says, I love it, placing an order today, even before the coupon code comes. You have been such a joy, and you have brought so much perspective, not only to me, I believe to everybody that's on here. And Audrey, to answer your question, Uncle Fisho is on here too. He's actually been on To My Younger Self already. So producer, can you give Elsie a link to the to my younger self episode where Uncle Eko Fisher was on here. It was marvelous. Just like today, it feels so relaxed. And I know, for example, Stan did not know he could do an hour and 9 minutes and counting. Within an hour already. So that's how it was. So yes, please, we're gonna send that link to you, Professor Audrey. Oh yes, look, I love the background work that's happening here. You and I are talking and we don't even know answers are already being given. Thank you guys. This has been such a wonderful time. Like, I don't even know what to say, but more grease to El Tai, more grease to Maya Cafe. Am I saying it right? I hope I'm saying it right.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
am.
Yes.
And next time I am in Nigeria, that's where I want to go get my cup of coffee, my cup of tea, get my dance on, and of course, style it up.
Yes.
Guys, let's keep styling it up. I want that cap and I want that t-shirt because I will style it up.
Nice. Thank you so much. And I'm loving your work as well. It's like, yeah, when I was when I agreed to it, like maybe a few weeks back, it's just something say, okay, yeah, I can do this. And then was it last week? I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then when I had my, some conversation, even just the way your outlook in life, the smile, everything's like, okay, I'm gonna be comfortable. I know, yeah. So thank you. It's not easy doing stuff like this, and I always appreciate it when people have their hustle on, as we say. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you. This has been so much fun. Another thing I'm going to be taking away from today's chat is the entrepreneurial spirit of Africans everywhere, but most especially of Nigerians. I appreciate that about you guys so much. The fact that you could just sit in maybe a lounge or wherever you guys met to have a drink and have one Nigerian here, one Nigerian there, another from Kenya meet and just right off the bat say, listen, we're going to make this happen. And even though it didn't turn out the way it did, it was supposed to turn out, you did it anyway. That's what we're talking about, Africans everywhere in the world. We should just do it anyway. It might fail, but what if it succeeds?
Exactly. How would you know, right? How would you know?
Right.
How would you
So
know?
let's keep doing it. With that being said, listen, to my younger self, we're here telling stories, but this is why I love seeing Uncle Coffee Show here. I love going on his show on Sundays. We are here to support each other and to put our personal brands and our personal stories out there into the world so that people know that we also have stories to share, and we're going to share it on our own terms. Like Stan T is doing his business on his own terms. Let's share our stories on our own terms. With that being said, next week, we're going to have another amazing storyteller. Amma is going to be here. Actually, it's not Amma, it's Adjoa. I always confuse those two names, Amma and Adjoa. Why? I don't know. But it's actually Adjoa. She's going to be here. She's going to be sharing some powerful stories. Just hang in there. There might be a poem out there. There might be, you never know what to expect onto my younger self. So please, 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 Adjoa Tego is going to be here. And I want you to just tune in and hear some stories, Listen, Stan, the man T, what is the absolute last thing you will let us walk away from today's storytelling with?
Stay beautiful.
Oh, okay. And stay styled up. Okay. Stay styled up. Yeah. Let's see what Uncle Akko says. He says, my buddy, Seventh Nana, owns a couple of L-Tie clothing. Very, very quality stuff. Now, this is what they call that. This is a testimonial right there. So guys, and I know Nakoa is in the UK. She just found you on Instagram. So yes, we are so excited about that. And it feels like we're here, talking up L-Tie, but so what if we do that? So what?
Thank you so much.
Africa is about. Let's do this thing together. Let's do it together. Stan always says, if you build it, they will come. Wow.
Not me. That's my twin sister.
Oh.
That's my twin.
Wow. Welcome, Twinny. Welcome, welcome. Wow. And he is right.
So
We
I have to write like a few checks now. So I'm gonna be bankrupt at this stage. And can I
love
just say, yeah, can I say thank you to Echo Fisher as well? So I know Julia every Sunday, she's always watching the show, and I come in, I'm like, are you fishoing? So that's what I say to her, are you fishoing? Yeah, so I really, and this is the thing, when you get to a certain age, you see people like young people, old people, black people just doing things, right? And I really, really love that. And I've got no desire, I tell you now, no desire to make um Louis Vuitton or Balenciaga. They're
wow.
all billionaires, right? I've
Yes.
got no desire to spend a single penny in their business anymore. They've got enough to go by, like they got generational wealth.
Mm,
Let's start building our people up. I don't care if my business is struggling today. If I meet a young black designer or coffee maker or whatever, I'm ready to support any business.
wow.
And I'm not saying that, I'm one of those like, black
Our
power,
people.
don't yeah, don't deal with like white people. No, no, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just making it my personal mission that I would always try my best, because I know when, after being through setting up a business, I know what it takes to set up a business. And when you make money, the money might not even be profitable, but the fact that you're making that money, somebody is believing in whatever product you're selling, and they're giving. I think that is the joy for most people, most entrepreneurs. It's just the fact that somebody just appreciate them enough to
Yes.
buy from them. They might not even turn a single profit from that
Mm,
purchase, right?
wow.
So, and I know that, and I'm just making it my personal mission now to, whenever I can help it, I would always support.
Wow.
So, Mr. Echo Fisher, one day I'm coming to America and I'm gonna
Yes.
be in the room. I'm gonna be giving it all of,
Yes. Yes.
but it's gonna be old school because I'm a bit of, like giving it
That
all of,
being
yeah,
said, on
yeah,
Sundays every week now, and I believe
yeah,
Akko has, really successfully transitioned into to YouTube. But find him on YouTube, MQF Music for Your
yeah.
quarantine feet.
It needs to come and do a
Yes,
show live in
yes.
London. Come and do it live in London. We are going to host you.
So, guys, we love you. We are so grateful. I'm trying to unhook, but I'm not even able to unhook. This is how much fun we have on this platform. God bless you all. It has been such a wonderful what. Oh, see, I just keep seeing things, and I can't unhook. Seventh Nana himself is here, and listen, we're trying to get
Hey, that's the man.
yes. So Seventh Nana, we are
That's my business mentor.
we're trying to extend an invite for Seventh Nana to be on the show to share his own story. So, I've never met you, don't know you from anywhere, but I know you're a good guy and we want you on the show. So here's a formal invitation to you, Seventh Nana. This is what we do. He says yes, and the voice is always rewarding for small
Make sure you make his segment 3 hours. It's got stories to tell.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. This has been so amazing. Guys, we will see you next week. We're going to try to unhook. Uh, this is what we're talking about. This is the African spirit. We are going to get Seventh Nana on this show. Amazing, amazing. We did it. Thank you, Stanty. You brought Seventh Nana to us, and now you're all going to be To My Younger Self alumni. We are so thankful. Listen, next week is going to be another fun time. A couple of things happening on To My Younger Self metaverse, or should we say TMY verse? I don't know. We're going to find a name for it soon. But our podcast is coming out next week. So for those of you who may be driving and so can't really see us, you should be able to just tune in and listen into it. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on iTunes, on Breaker, on Google Podcast. It's going to be everywhere. We're going to start this next week. So please, please, please stay tuned. We'll give you all the details very, very soon. Guys, with so much love. Keep styling it up, keep staying beautiful, and support brand LTI, and of course, to my younger self, MQF, and of course, Humanity Chat. So much love for you. We're going to be signing off very, very well right now, really. So we love you. Bye.
Me a from Moko school, my bad.